G'day everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at who I think will be the top 10 AFL players at the end of the 2022 season. Now, I've seen a lot of people all across Instagram and social media give their take on who they think will be the top 10 players at the end of this year, and I thought, hey, why not? Let's give it a crack too. The top 10 that I'm going to showcase today has a few players that are rising up, has a few players that are rising down, because you have to, take into consideration it's not going to be the exact same top 10 AFL players. It has to be a bit different each year. But anyways, if you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. And let's get into my top 10 list. So everybody, as per usual with my top 10 videos, I'll just be going from 10th to 1st, and kicking it off in 10th, I believe the 10th best player of 2022 will be 𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐿. Of course, had a magnificent 2020 campaign, won the Brownlow medal, won the Leigh Matthews trophy, was arguably the best player in the competition. And then last year he was hit with a few niggling injuries, and of course because of that, was not to his best. Considering now he is fit as the fiddle at the moment, the Lions are in a very good environment at the moment. They are in their premiership window and look to be very motivated this year. And also Chris Fagan saying he has the luxury now with players back and players in form to move 𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐿 around across all kinds of positions, in the guts, on the wing, on the half forward line, just giving him that more versatile value to his name. Was definitely a shell of himself in 2021, but hey, he has had a good start to the season so far, produced a very nice display in the AAMI Community Series. So yeah, I've got 𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐿 at 10th. Moving on now to 9th place, and I have got Jeremy Cameron. I've got a key forward in here. Reason being is because I believe this man will be the Coleman medalist. I said this in my bold predictions video a few weeks ago. He's a player that he personally knows he did not have, the season he wanted to last year. He's of course an all-Australian caliber player of the Giants, moved over to Geelong. Geelong fans had high expectations. He had a bit of back problems, didn't come in till, I think it was round 9, round 10. And when he did play, he was actually a very effective player for the Cats. But it's just the injuries that really kept him from being the player that he can truly be last year. And with that aside now, he's feeling really good at the moment. The Cats players have said he is looking firing fit. He could be, they've said he's been the best player in training. Showed a nice performance in pre-season 2, kicked I think 3 goals against the Suns. As I said before, he is an all-Australian caliber player. He's in a side with other star players and star experienced players like Tom Hawkins, Dangerfield. And now I reckon if he can get a full season under his belt with the Cats, he could definitely be a top 10 player of 2022. Now in 8th place, I've got a bit of a riser here, and I feel like you've got to put a few risers in. It can't just be the exact, high quality players that have established themselves. And in 8th, I've got Andrew Brayshaw from Fremantle. Brayshaw just seems to be one of those youngsters where people kind of forget at times because he is from that WA side, but hey, he just seems to keep on getting better and better each year. The second pick from 2017 is, definitely made his mark on the AFL, but he just, of course, has not shown his full potential yet. He's only 22, but now, since he's reaching that 23, 24-year-old kind of range, he really has the ability now, I reckon, to become one of the best midfielders in the comp. You can kind of say that his development was a bit hindered when he did get that unfortunate punch from Gaff, but that just shows resilience. He had a completely stuffed up broken jaw, and he's just rebounded from that so well. You never know, he could have become a better player than he is at the moment if he never had that instance, but considering he is just a player on the up, keeps on getting better and better game by game, year by year, and also with the Freo midfield situation with Cerra leaving, he really now has the ability to mould well with Sarong and Nat Fyfe and a few youngsters like Erasmus and become a true force in 2022. And that's another thing with the Freo midfielders. They are a very tight-knit group. You've got Sarong, Nat Fyfe, Brayshaw, all 3 gun players, and because of that I feel the expectations are kind of evened out across all 3 of those players. So since the expectations are evened out, that's not really giving Brayshaw extremely high expectations to perform at his best, so he could really just shock the competition without having the pressures of being expected to play the best as possible. Brayshaw is looking like the future captain of the club, ticks every boxes for an elite midfielder, very strong at the footy, just a bull in that midfield. And I could definitely see him being one of the top tacklers in the competition too. So I've got Brayshaw to be the 8th best player in 2022. For my 7th best player now of 2022, I believe it will be Max Gawn. He'll still be up there as one of the best ruckmen in the competition. What a season he did have last year. For years now, he's proven to be one of the top ruckmen of the competition. And last year, he absolutely killed it with his ability to play as that kind of fourth midfielder and have the traits to kick goals, very long goals too, and also move forward and snag a few goals there. Just a ruckman that can do everything really. Hit outs to advantage is elite. Disposals are always high game after game. And just having that added ability to be a goal-kicking ruckman that not many other rucks can do in the competition, it just gives them that edge over all the rucks in the AFL. And of course, Max Gawn playing for a premiership side of the Melbourne Demons, who look to be unstoppable at the moment. That, of course, has a major factor, the team's success on becoming one of the best players in the comp. And for me, Max Gawn still looks like a top 10 player for 2022. He will continue that on from last year. For my sixth best player of 2022, I've gone for Dusty Martin. I'm hopping on the bandwagon. I'm getting around him. I believe he can get back to probably not his top 3 kind of best, but definitely back to at least 80 or 90% of his prime. Whenever I look back at those final series where Richmond did win the flag in those years, he just seemed to look like, honestly, one of the best players I've ever watched. Just absolutely unstoppable, ball-breaking midfielder, can break any tackle, can go for kick goals. He has just got everything to be an X-Factor superstar player. And in 2021, the premiership hangover did occur, which caused, all the players in the team to have a bit of drop of morale, drop of effort, and a drop of form too. Then he had a massive halt in his tracks where he did get that unfortunate kidney massive hit against the Lions in the second half of the season, which just completely ended it. It was a very mixed opinion argument where he did get injured. A lot of people saying, nah, he's done, he's finished, while other people were like, there's still time, he can definitely still get back to his best. But with me personally, first off, believing that I reckon the Tigers will be back into finals for 2022. Dusty is the man to lead him there. He is one of the most influential players in the competition and, of course, for the Tigers. And if they wanted to see finals, I think Dusty will have to have an absolutely smashing season. And if that is the case, I can see him being a top 10 player in 2022. Now, in 5th place, I've gone for one of the most loved players in the competition, 𝐓𝐶 Muller. For a top 10 player in the AFL, a major factor is the team success. But with a man like 𝐓𝐶 Muller, I don't think it really matters for him. He is that good of a footballer. He just keeps on getting better year by year. He is a loyal player. He's passionate. He is one of the hardest working midfielders I watch on the telly. And he's really going to be a smoky, in my opinion, for the Brownlow medal too. After a career best 2021 season, polling 17 Brownlow votes, he just looks like a player that is not going to stop. Last year, he could really show what he was capable of, just game by game, producing over 30 disposals all the time, and how he earned that was just hard running, hard working, always sprinting that extra 20 metres to get a handball, kick or mark. And also after he won his Best and Fairest award for the Suns last year, he almost broke into tears, I'm pretty sure, during his speech, saying, I love this club, I'm extremely loyal to this community and this organisation. And how I look at that now is he's motivated, he's very loyal to the club, and that's just going to drive him to have an even better 2022 in my eyes. Sure, Ben King is out for the season, and with that, many people have the Suns sliding down, but I just have a feeling they're going to get it right this season, the Suns. They'll move up the ladder a bit. Their performances in pre-season were really quite something special. Just their pressure they showed at the footy, always 3 men going towards the ball carrier, was what really caught my eye. And if the team success does improve for the Suns this year, that can really boost 𝐓𝐶 Muller's stock, and I see him being in the top 5 for the best AFL players of 2022. For my 4th best player now of 2022, I believe it will be Jack Steele. He'll be up there for one of the best players in the AFL. Similar to 𝐓𝐶 Muller, Jack Steele has really taken the competition by storm, leading the AFL in tackles with 185 last year. He was an inspiration for St Kilda, a true leader, just always hard at the footy, always digging in, tackling, and similar to a lot of gun midfielders, racking up a lot of disposals. The thing that I noticed towards the end of last season and the build-up towards the Brownlow medal, Jack Steele was sort of that underdog and underrated kind of guy to be the Brownlow medalist. Then it was a sudden build-up of people actually recognising him as being one of the best hard-ball midfielders in the comp. And ever since after that Brownlow medal, fans were not really happy. They said that Jack Steele should have polled a lot more votes, and now it has been a true build-up of people hopping on almost the bandwagon of saying, hey, Jack Steele could be the Brownlow medalist of this year. He could be the top 3 players, best player in the competition, but I've got him sitting as the 4th best. But there's nothing wrong at all hopping on the bandwagon. He is truly an excellent player for the Saints. Now a full-time captain for the Saints with Gary pretty much dropping out, opting out of the vice-captain role. And considering the situation he is in now, full-time captain, he really wants to lead this club that are on the verge of making finals to really push them, drive them into the 8 for this year. If that does occur, he could definitely be one of the best players in the AFL for this year. So I've got him as the 4th best. Now for my 3rd best player of 2022, I believe it will be 𝐼𝙗𝐿 𝗠𝗲. You can't go wrong with the Bont. Was truly a terrific player for the Bulldogs last year. 𝐼𝙗𝐿 𝗠𝗲, combined with other star midfielders like 𝐓𝐡𝐿𝐴, Jack Macrae, Josh Dunkley, Bailey Smith to his assistants, he was able to excel in 2021. And for me, he is just the perfect X Factor kind of player, always just hitting up targets left, right and centre, can kick on either foot, just a tall, big midfielder that uses the footy excellently. You have to, of course, be a little bit cautious with Bulldogs players and the team in general. They did lose the grand final, and there could be possibly a chance of them dropping down with a bit of a grand final loss hangover. But with the Bulldogs, I just cannot see that. They were probably the second best team in the comp last year, were magnificent in the home away season, and I believe they'll continue to be that dominant side in 2022. Because of that, of the team success, that's going to make 𝐼𝙗𝐿 𝗠𝗲 one of the best players in the competition for 2022. He might not be in that top 3 to top 5 range stats-wise compared to other gun midfielders, but for me, he is just one of the most impactful and X-Factor players of the AFL, and I've got him sitting as the 3rd best player for this year. Moving on into my 2nd best player, and yeah, you can kind of pretty much guess who they are, the last 2, but I'll just be going into my 2nd place spot, and I've got Christian Petrarca. The Melbourne Demons Football Club had the season of their lives last year, and it was driven by these magnificent plays such as Christian Petrarca. Christian Petrarca is just the most ideal next generation AFL midfielder player. What I mean by that is I believe that the next generation AFL midfielder talents are those big-bodied midfielders who can go forward and kick goals. That is what AFL is all about now. You've got to have one of those tough mids that have the ability to go forward, break a few tackles, be a true gun line breaker, and go and split the sticks. And of course, Petrarca is second to none at this with his craft. Not only is it his skills with Petrarca, he's also a very hard worker too. I'm pretty sure after the AFL Grand Final, or 9 days after the Grand Final, he was straight back into training. Highly motivated player, and with also me seeing the Demons not really looking like they're going to be slowing down in 2022, that's really going to aid Petrarca to have another excellent season, and I've got him as the 2nd best player. And now for who I believe will be the best player of 2022. Another Melbourne Demons player, you probably already guessed it, it is Clayton Oliver. Of course, he was up there as one of the best players last year. I don't see him dropping off at all for this year. It was definitely a toss-up for who to put as the best player, Clayton Oliver or Petrarca. I was tossing up between them two, and I decided to go for Clayton Oliver just because I feel he's more of that balanced midfielder. Of course, Petrarca lights up the competition with his big plays and hard at the footy contests and ability to go forward and kick goals. But Clayton Oliver is just more of that, as I said, balanced midfielder who's probably a bit more better defensively. And including that, he just ticks the boxes for an excellent AFL midfielder. Can just do anything on that field, kick either foot. Excellent two-way running, and he has one of the best set of hands out of any player. Just as soon as he gets the ball, just a quick hand pass into advantage. I think he does it better than any other midfielder. And since I have Clayton Oliver first, I also reckon that he will be the Brownlow medalist of 2022. I'm sure there will be multiple players polling over 30 votes just like last year's count. And in general, Clayton Oliver is a player you just can't go wrong with of having him as the best player of 2022. And of course, with Oliver playing for the Demons, who are a very strong chance of going back-to-back, that's really going to assist him to be, in my eyes, the best player of the 2022 AFL season. So everybody, there was my top 10 list of the 10 best AFL players of the 2022 season. Of course, it is a very controversial topic, so make sure to comment down below and tell me who do you reckon I missed out, and comment down below who would have you put in my list today that I did not include. But anyways, fellas, that is the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. We're closing in on 10,000 subscribers, so I'm really keen to hit that milestone sooner or later. So thank you for all of your support. And yeah, that's it from me, fellas. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. See you later, fellas.